Good morning, friends. Happy Monday morning. It is Monday, May, I don't even know, 20th. And my week yesterday did not start out quite as planned, but we'll get into that later. I am going to bring you along today for a what I eat in a day and also 2 little cook with me's. It is early in the morning. I just finished my run and my 8-fit workout, and I am throwing together a breakfast pizza for everybody for breakfast this morning. We are all scattering to the wind. My oldest son has to be in Atlantic City, which is about an hour from us, today and tomorrow for a certification course. My younger son has school, my husband has work. I, of course, work from home, so trying to get everybody breakfast, lunch, and get everybody out the door on time. The week started out kind of bumpy yesterday, but like I said, we'll talk about that later. First thing we're going to do is get this pizza going because I am running behind. Okay, for the breakfast pizza, I have the 2-ingredient dough crust. It is certainly not my prettiest crust, but I'm in a big hurry this morning. 2-ingredient dough pizza crust. I par-baked it for 8 minutes. Next thing I'm going to do is take 3/4 of a cup of Trader Joe's light mozzarella and sprinkle it over the crust. And then in this bowl, I have 3 eggs and a 1/4 cup of almond milk whisked together. I am going to pour that right on top of the mozzarella and the crust. And then on top of that, I have 6 slices of Canadian bacon that I diced up. I'm going to throw that on. And spread that out a little bit. And then finally, I'm going to top it with 4 ounces of my favorite Cabot 75% reduced fat cheddar. I did learn something about this cheese. It does not freeze well. ShopRite had it on sale about a month or so ago. Really, really cheap, and there were coupons, and it was a great deal. So I bought like 6 blocks and threw them in the freezer. Well, when it comes out of the freezer, it does not grate up well at all. It pretty much just crumbles, which is fine for recipes like this or mac and cheese or whatever. But it does make kind of a mess, and it does not make nice shreds. So I will keep that in mind. Okay, so there's the cheddar. And I am just going to pop this into the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. And I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. And I will be back to chat. Okay, there is the breakfast pizza out of the oven. And if you cut this into 6 servings, it is 4 smart points per serving. And if you cut it into 4 servings, which would be, you know, a pretty big piece of pizza, it would only be 6 points per serving, which I don't think is bad for a complete breakfast. So there you have it. There is the breakfast pizza. I am going to let this cool, get it plated up for everyone, and I'm going to get in the shower because I'm about a half an hour behind this morning. I will be back to chat later and show you when I eat my pizza. Okay, friends, I am back with my breakfast. We ended up cutting the breakfast pizza into 8 pieces at 3 smart points per piece. So I have 2 pieces for 6 smart points, and I have some pineapple for 0 smart points. And that will be my breakfast this morning. Okay, guys, I'm done my breakfast. Just want to tell you a little bit about my weekend and my snackcident yesterday, and what we came home to last night. Anyway, Saturday, we had somewhere, my husband and I had somewhere to be. It was a church function that we both had to be at. Not at our church, but it's for the diocese, the whole church thing. Anyway, they were having a continental breakfast and they were providing lunch. So continental breakfast, the first thing I think of is danishes and bagels and pastries. So I ate breakfast before we went down, knowing that, I could just have a cup of tea or whatever. Well, I wonder if someone there was not on WW. Because yes, they did have donuts and they had bagels and they had muffins. But they also had a huge tub of non-fat Greek yogurt and a beautiful, beautiful bowl of blueberries. So I did have a breakfast sandwich before I left. But by the time it was time for our little continental breakfast, it had been 2 hours. So I had a lovely bowl of yogurt and blueberries. I was thrilled. It usually doesn't happen that way. So that was perfect. Lunch was made by one of the wives who were part of this thing that we were at, and not quite as WW friendly. She had some sandwich wraps, but they were really little and tiny. It looked like about like a soft taco size, and they were cut in half. So it was only about 2 inches long. And I had a ham and cheese and pickle one piece of that. And they had sausage and peppers. So I had 2 little tiny pieces of sausage, probably about an ounce, maybe 2 at that. And a huge, huge green salad. I stayed away from the pasta salad and the desserts and all that. So that I had a great day, I thought I had a perfect eating day. We had tacos for dinner, which was very low in points. So a day that I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out turned out really good. And then Sunday, what did we do for breakfast Sunday? Oh, we had to be, my sons were speaking at not our church, but a church about 20 minutes away. One was speaking at 9:30 Mass, one was speaking at 11 o'clock Mass. My husband and I were staying for both to see both boys do their speeches. So I grabbed French toast in a mug, made that while I was getting ready to go because I did not want to be hungry. Because when I'm hungry, then, it's too easy to stop at Dunkin' for a bagel or whatever. So I had that and I was fine. We got home and we had to get started right away on preparing food for my brother-in-law's barbecue birthday. I was in charge of taking the deviled eggs. So I had made 30 hard-boiled eggs the day before, and I was going to, make 60 deviled eggs. Got those all done, threw all the eggshells. A lot of times we keep eggshells, we use them in the garden. And I do want to start composting, but that's a whole nother story. I threw all the eggshells in the sink, didn't put them down the garbage disposal. My husband came along behind me, started cleaning up. Put them down the garbage disposal, and after he did it, he goes, I think our garbage disposal has an issue with eggshells. I probably shouldn't have done that. Well, it clogged. So he unclogged it with the plunger and everything. We thought it was good. We started the dishwasher. Everything was good. We left and went to the picnic. That's where the snack accident occurred. I'll get back to that in a minute. We came home, and there was water in the sink. He plunged again. Nothing was working. It would go down when we put the garbage disposal on, but as soon as you turned it off, it was like a geyser in the sink. So he got out the snake. This was around 7:30, 8 o'clock. Started snaking, took everything apart, started snaking it. Long story short, he sent me to bed at 11 o'clock. He's like, you are exhausted. There is nothing you can do. Go to bed. I'm going to keep working on this. We'll see what happens. So I went to bed. He came to bed a little after midnight, got a shower because he was all kind of icky from being at the barbecue because they were out in the kayaks and the rowboats and we're fishing and all that fun stuff. My in-laws live on a lake. It's wonderful. So I never heard him. I never heard him shower. I never heard him come to bed. Nothing. I was out like a light. I'm still trying to recover from these allergies, this cold, whatever this is. And I've just really been exhausted. Because I have not been resting and I haven't been taking care of myself. I admit it. I'm still up, doing my workouts at 4:30 in the morning, which I probably should have taken a few days off. But honestly, I feel worse when I take time off from that. But Story for another day. So this morning I found out that he indeed did fix the drain. I am beyond thrilled that we didn't have to call a plumber, because honestly, I'd rather spend my money on something fun and not give it to a plumber. So I am just beyond blessed that my husband is good at fixing things and isn't afraid to try to fix things and all that. So long story short, it was a long night. So I got nothing done. I got very little prep done last night for everybody's breakfasts and lunches, and I didn't get the dishwasher emptied and I didn't get the dishwasher filled. So it was a hot mess this morning. When I kept saying I was a little bit behind, that's why. But it's all fixed. I'm thrilled. The next thing we have to tackle is dealing with Chrysler and our car warranty. We're still in the 3-year time frame for our van, but we're 4,000 miles over the warranty. And last week, our passenger side sliding door decided to crap out. I don't know if it's the motor, a sensor, or what, but we can't even open it manually. You know, I'm not a little princess where, oh my gosh, the button's not working, we have to get this fixed. I can open a door. It won't even open manually. And it is a huge job to fix. It is going to be $1,500. And once again, I would rather spend that $1,500 doing something fun and not on a door. So the dealership recommended that we call Chrysler Warranty and talk to them, because there might be something we can do. We may be able to, even though it's past it, we may be able to extend the warranty for a couple $100 and get it fixed or whatever. So supposedly they called Friday. I've been without my van now since last Tuesday. Supposedly they called Friday and left a message for my husband. There was no message on his phone. His phone did not ring. There was no voicemail. So we were without it the whole weekend. So he's trying to deal with that this morning on top of everything else. So a little stressful. But back to the snack accident yesterday, and then I will shut up because I've gone on way too long and you really don't care about any of this, but I just needed to vent. Did great at the barbecue. My brother-in-law always has turkey burgers, so I knew we'd have turkey burgers. I took my 647 buns. I knew I was good. I was going to be good. Not a problem. So my sister-in-law made a zucchini casserole, we call it. So very, very low in point. I had that. I had my turkey burger. Found out Bubba brand turkey burgers. Oh my goodness. They are so incredibly delicious. That's my new turkey burger brand. 4 points. Anyway, had my burger. I had veggies. Lots of cut up veggies with a little bit of dip. Did great. Except for the almonds. My brother-in-law always has nuts out. And he had these almonds. They were some kind of like smoky, like smokehouse. I don't want to say barbecue because they weren't barbecuey, but my goodness gracious, they were so good. And every time I went back in the house, 1 or 2 popped right in my mouth. And I knew what I was doing when I was doing it. I knew it. And I just couldn't stop myself. I should have stopped going in the house, but I was the one that kept running in to get things for other people or whatever. And every time I went in the house, I just popped more in my mouth. So I probably ended up using 20 weekly points in just almonds. Now, I know it could have been worse. Right next to the almonds was a big bowl of potato chips. Right next to that was pepperoni and cheese. Didn't touch any of that. Didn't touch the macaroni and cheese. Didn't touch the baked beans. Didn't touch any of that. Didn't touch the potato salad. But man, those almonds. But I'm not going to fret about it. They're healthy. They're a good, healthy fat. Yes, I overate them. I did. I was popping 1 or 2 in my mouth every time I went in, or 3 or 4. So I just counted them as 20 points yesterday, and my almonds were more than my entire dinner. Dessert time came. The cakes looked delicious. Everybody said they were delicious. There were 2 different cakes. I had 1 bite of one of the cakes and 5 different kinds of ice cream. Didn't even have any of that. And I served the cake and ice cream to everyone. So it was just the almonds that got me. So that was my snack accident from yesterday, was the almonds. But you know what? It could have been a lot worse. I'm not beating myself up over it. It's over. It's done. It's all good. So that was my weekend. How was your weekend? I hope it was a good one. I feel mine was okay. Back on track today. We have a crazy week with eating out. I've got a church dinner tomorrow night, and I've got a sports banquet on Wednesday night. So a little bit crazy, but I'm prepared for it. But anyway, I will shut up now because I have an apple cake in my Instant Pot. If it comes out, I will show you what that looks like. I already did some hard-boiled eggs in the Instant Pot, and I'm getting ready to do yogurt. So that's it for me. I'm out. I will be back to show you the apple cake if it turned out. I don't have a cake button on my Instant Pot, so I had to play with that. So we'll see, but I will be back. 30 and time for lunch. On my menu today was chicken salad, but I had a ton of taco stuff left over from Saturday. So I am having a chicken taco salad. Lettuce, tomatoes, of course, are zero. I have about a tablespoon of the Cabot 50% reduced cheddar in there for zero. I have the chicken for zero. 2 tablespoons of the Casa Mamita queso for 1 point. And then in here I have 1 tablespoon of light sour cream mixed with some Greek yogurt for 1 point. And then I have a Joseph's lavash bread that I cut up, sprayed with olive oil, put some salt on, and threw in the air fryer to make chips, crackery type things for 2 points. So my lunch, oh, and I have my passion fruit lemonade that I made for 0 points. So my entire lunch for all this goodness is 4 Freestyle Smart Points. Okay, lunch is over, and after all that spiciness with the queso and the taco sauce, I needed a little sweet. So I have these little mini vanilla meringues. They came from Big Lots. They come in a big container, and they are 40 for 5 Smart Points. I pre-package them in packages of 10 for only 1 Freestyle Smart Point. And they are very sweet, and they just hit that little sweet spot after something spicy. So I am going to add that to my day. Okay, time to make dinner. In this bowl, I've had marinating for about an hour, 1 egg, the juice of a lemon, and some parsley, and 4 chicken breasts. In here, I have a 1/2 cup of panko breadcrumbs and 1/3 of a cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I'm just going to coat the chicken breasts with the mixture and pop them right onto the baking sheet. These are huge chicken breasts. These will definitely serve more than 4 people, which is fine. And the last one. Okie dokie. They go on the sheet. And then I'm going to take 20 ounces of baby potatoes, and it just dawned on me that there are more than this here. I cut up too many, so I'm gonna weigh them out, and I'm gonna put them on the sheet pan with the chicken. Okay, the potatoes are on the sheet pan with the chicken. Then in here I have a 1/4 cup of light butter, and I have 2 teaspoons of garlic powder in there, and I'm just gonna pour about 1/2 of it over the potatoes. And then I'm just gonna toss them to coat them. And then I'm gonna sprinkle them with salt, and I'm going to put this in a 400-degree oven for 15 minutes to start. Okay, I pulled it out of the oven after 15 minutes, and I'm gonna flip the chicken over. I did forget to mention that I sprayed the top of the chicken with olive oil spray. So I'm gonna flip it over. I'm gonna spray it again on this side. Push the potatoes down the one end. Put the asparagus. Now the recipe calls for 1 pound of asparagus. This is 2 pounds. Because we eat a lot of asparagus in our house. In Jersey, we grow it. It's delicious. the stand where we buy it, literally pick it from the fields and bring it up to you to sell it to you. It is that fresh and that delicious. I always say it's one of the only things I like about living in New Jersey is the fact that we are the garden state. Now I'm going to sprinkle some salt on the asparagus. And then pour the rest of the garlic butter mixture over it. Just give it a little toss with my fingers. And then we're gonna pop this back in the oven for about 20 minutes or until the chicken and potatoes are cooked all the way through. And here is dinner all plated up. I am counting this as 7 points. I am counting 1 point for the asparagus for the little bit of the butter that was on there, 2 points for the chicken, for the breadcrumbs and the Parmesan cheese, and 4 points for 3 ounces of potatoes, but they did have the butter on them, so I threw in another point. So 7 points for my entire dinner, and it looks and smells delicious. I will let you know how it tastes. It is 8 o'clock and I am finishing up my night with a banana flavored Built Bar. Yes, this is how I eat my Built Bars. I cut them into little tiny pieces and just savor them one at a time. I have a ton of paperwork to do for my swim club board position, so I'm going to sit down at the computer, upload this video, do my paperwork, and enjoy each and every little piece of this Built Bar, and I am going to call it a night. Thanks for coming along with me on my what I eat in a day. And by the way, that dinner was absolutely delicious. I highly recommend it. My entire family loved it. What amazed me is how everything got done at exactly the right time. You know, you put the chicken and the potatoes in first and then let that cook 15 minutes, throw the asparagus on, let everything cook another 20. The chicken was moist and juicy and flavored great. I think the longer you can let it marinate, the better the flavor will be. I only had mine in there like for a short time, but definitely get it going in the morning. I think it'll be much more flavorful, but it was fantastic. The potatoes were cooked perfect, everything. It was an absolutely perfect dinner. So definitely give that one a try, and only 1 pan to clean up, which makes it even better. So thanks again for coming along with me. Somebody has the nerve to walk down the street. That's why the dog is going crazy. If you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button, click the notification bell, leave me a comment, like this video, do all the fun things. And I will see you in a couple days for another What I Eat in a Day and cook with me. Take it easy, guys. Good night.